Hi, my name is Makaylee Robinson, and today I'm just briefly running over the importance of supplemental biotin in the equine diet. So just to get started, I want to talk about how prevalent horse problems are in the horse industry. So multiple studies have shown that hoof-related issues are the most prevalent cause for lameness. There was actually a 61-person survey conducted in the UK in which 46% of the participants reported dealing with cracks and splints in their horse's feet over the past 5 years. 35% of those respondents reported using some sort of supplement in order to increase hoof health. That kind of leads us to believe that 35% of these respondents are having long-term issues with their hoof health. This is not something that's typically just short-term. So those owners that are dealing with long-term hoof issues, it takes about 6 to 9 months for a new hoof to grow in. So if an owner is dealing with frequent cracks, it actually could take away months of their riding time and eventually lead to soundness issues. So just to get started, I want to talk about what biotin is. So biotin can also be referred to as vitamin B7, and biotin works to eventually produce proteins such as keratin, which is the main protein responsible for healthy hoof growth. Biotin deficiency is rare, however, research shows supplement biotin can increase hoof health. So there are a few natural sources of biotin, such as alfalfa, legumes, soybean meal, fresh forage, and hindgut microbes. However, this still might not be enough for certain horses. In the study I'm talking about today, there was 32 horses that were split into 4 groups of 8. There was one group that was given no biotin, and then the other 3 groups were given various amounts of biotin, and one of the groups was given biotin only every other month. Hoof hardness and hoof growth was measured monthly. And the results of those studies showed that there was the most amount of growth and the most increase in hoof hardness in the group that was being fed 15 milligrams every single day. The group that was being fed 15 milligrams every other month saw minimal results, and the group that got the least amount of biotin also saw minimal results. So there are a few horses that would be the best candidates for a biotin supplementation. So those horses would be horses on long-term antibiotics, horses on a high-in-grain, low-fiber diet, and older horses. Those horses all typically tend to have less microbial activity, and less microbial activity ends up being less natural biotin produced, so therefore they might need some extra biotin added in. And there are also some certain breeds that tend to have low-quality feet, such as thoroughbreds and quarter horses. So the key takeaways here is that biotin supplements can increase hoof growth and health, especially when we feed it at the recommended 15 to 20 milligrams per day. It will take time before you see improvement. Expect 5 to 8 months before you start seeing any improvement, since biotin only affects new growth, and daily supplementation is needed in order to see any true improvement. Thank you.